Hello, I'm Theodore Parker, and this is a sideshow. And today is Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Right now in this area, it's about 73 degrees, going up to 88 today. Don't want to forget about the mask if you're going out. Between COVID-19 positivity rates and also being careful about monkeypox. You know, be safe. Thursday, one more day to the week of July 2022. Yesterday was, weather-wise, was kind of interesting. We had storm warnings, tornado warnings in this area by the counties, and heat was up to 106 at one point and around 102 at another. And let's say heat warnings were out. Today seems kind of mild in comparison. I went out for a brief minute when I realized it was saying 106 just to feel what 106 feels like. So that's how that went. I really didn't have anything specific. My mind has kind of been overloaded with the stuff that's been going on. And I was just going to cover some things that had passed in front of me. Sometimes I say no rhyme, no reason, but still, it's items that have been in the news. Most recently, Prime Minister Boris Johnson is set to resign. I guess this comes after all that comments about the parties and things that were going on when they were supposed to be locked down and some other issues. But I do remember that earlier, months ago, he made an announcement that he had a second child on the way. So I was wondering if this had anything to do with him wanting to party, celebratory fashion. But anyway, as it stands in this moment in time, he's agreed to resign, which is another thing that came up about England. And this is again related to somebody that's already had their position adjusted, Prince Andrews. But before I leave Boris, the pound is going up as well. I don't know whether it's due to this announcement or not. But Prince Andrew, since he's already had his duties modified in the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, it came out that she was visiting Prince Andrew at some point, and she was such a frequent visitor that security was told just to wave her through day or night. So I wonder what that was all about. Here in the States, January 6th committee is going to broadcast another hearing. So, most recently, Casey Hutchinson testified, and then one of the people that sits on the panel, sorry, I can't call his name right now, made some announcements about some notes and correspondence, emails, or whatever that he had received that was full of explicit language of what he should do related to this or not, including some threats to him, his staff, and family. So that's the one that the chairman of the committee usually turns the questions over to when you see the hearings aired. Gas is down for the 21st day. Don't know how that's reflected in your area, but that's what the news is saying around here. I guess you can text AAA or Gas Buddy or anything else like that. And with that being said, Biden sends 5 million barrels of oil overseas. I'm not sure who that's going to, but it's going out of here, as in the United States. Speaking outside the country, Ukraine, with Russia attaching the Donetsk city, have begun to evacuate the citizens out of that city and area. And Russia, as I stated yesterday, has kind of paused their operations for whatever reasons to see what else might be going on, because there have been some words passed between Russia and China about their positions and politics. And I think the last time they did a mutual operation, military style, they had violated some of Japan's airspace, and they were trying to avoid any words being passed by Japan in regards to that. So it's been a time around that area. In New York, news has announced that they have arrested 15,000 criminals. Of course, this was last month, but then this is only the 7th day of this month. So we're not that far behind. But 15,000 criminals are off the streets for more serious crimes that they have committed. They also found $15,000. That doesn't seem like a lot, but if you take a high school, or a person just graduated out of high school, and make that their first job, that's more than $1,000 a month, so it's some money. And I wasn't even sure that Letitia had time, the way she's been on the Trump organization, to think about anything else. New York, New York. In Nigeria, other side of the world, 456 prisoners out of 846 escaped prison. I'm not sure the circumstances of all that, but that was an item that hit the news. So I guess I'll find out more later on if it comes up again. Rihanna moves aside Kylie Jenner as youngest woman self-made billionaire at 34 years old. Rihanna's listed, I think, 21st at 1.4 billion. And as a comparison, Oprah at 68 years old is at 2.8 billion. I remember, my enthusiasm at hearing that she was first announced as a billionaire, which either came right after or just before her shopping spree in one of those little islands where I think she almost had to buy the place out once they found out how much money she had. So it goes. Black billionaires. Another thing, totally different. When the shootings happened in Uvalde at Robb Elementary, and the panel was having the, I guess, town hall or the media press conference, and the governor was there, Greg Abbott. Since everybody was seated and the other man kind of stole the show by asking, what were they going to do about this and that and the other, and come to find out he was running for a political position. With everybody sitting down, I didn't know that Greg Abbott was in a wheelchair. So it come across, out of curiosity, I wanted to know if he was in a wheelchair. So the answer is yes. He's been in a wheelchair since he was 26 years old, when, as a student at Vanderbilt, he was taking a break from studying and was running in one of the local nearby neighborhoods. I think Highland, near Vanderbilt, and I guess he had another, somebody was with him, but running through the neighborhood, an oak tree fell on him and seriously injured his back, and he had to lay still for a month, after surgeries and things of that nature. Um, and after that, he sued and won. The tree company, the neighborhood, the neighbors, the homeowners, and probably several other people. But be that as it may, and from that, you know, um, he kind of took interest in politics, and so now he's currently the governor of Texas. Hmm. Speaking about all the stuff that's going on with guns, you know, um, as much as I get on Congress, because I would like to see the gun ban from 1996 that was put in by the Clinton administration for 10 years, which would have took it to 2006, 16, something like that. 10 years from 1996. So you have Clinton, President Obama, Trump for 4 years, and now you have President Biden. So, they put together, I guess, the package, because I'm still thinking about S736, which was introduced in 2019. Then you have 2020, 2021, now 2022. So I kind of find out that for that to happen, as I say, I'm always gathering information. The information just seems to come in addition to what I already know, that it probably would take an amendment to the Constitution for something like S736 to come into law. So, given what they had to work with, Congress in general, House of Representatives and Senate in particular, and speaking of and about the Senate, what they did pass, you know, um, with the age restriction, I think, and the red flags, background checks, um, and I guess somewhat of a waiting period, and also funding for schools and mental health, all included up in there. I may still have missed a few. Then that puts kind of a different slant on things as far as their efforts is concerned. So then, right on the heels of all of this legislation, there comes the announcement about concealed carry laws. So now, I imagine I kind of heard it, particularly in New York, you know, you don't need a permit to carry a concealed weapon outside your home. So what's left on the burner, on the plate, or under discussion would be what, if any, places would be off limits for carrying a concealed weapon. So all that being said, I was talking about gun laws and paperwork and all that kind of stuff. I was watching an episode of Ozarks. So, make a long story short, they had a mentally challenged actor playing a role in this particular episode, and he went into the local department store, wherever it was. I'm just not going to call no names, and filled out the paperwork with the help of the clerk for a rifle. So after the allotted time, he came back, picked the rifle up. The clerk made sure he had some ammunition for it and all that. He got on his bicycle with his package, drove up the street around the corner, and met a young lady and gave her the rifle. So I wasn't sure if I should laugh, smile, or give it some deep thought. Because if you have a obviously mentally challenged person make a gun purchase for somebody who is mentally okay but can't make a gun purchase, that's a thought-provoking scene right there, you know. So I just thought I would throw it in there, concealed carry laws and everything else. And then, you know, Wild Wild West to the OK Corral, or OK Corral to the Wild Wild West. Like I say, you don't in the subways and other places like that, you know. So anyway, it's Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Tomorrow's Friday. That's it. Hashtag.